This time on One Foot Flipper, we look at 8 more things you can do to make more money and save more time on eBay and other reselling sites. Stay tuned.
One Foot Flipper.
Hi, Paige here. How's it going, everybody? Not too bad here. Sales have been okay. The Christmas ornaments are starting to sell. Go to my store and buy them because you need to, because they take a lot of room up here. Otherwise, I haven't been listing all that much because my store is mostly full, and I'm kind of waiting for the rest of my posters to show up from ADH Dave so I can do a complete video about them. Apparently there was 2 packages and I only got 1, and every day I'm like, when's the other package going to get here? And I don't even have the tracking number of the other package either, so when's it getting here? I have no idea. Dave, let me know. But today I think we're going to look at 8 more things you can do to make more money on eBay and other reselling sites and to just save time and be more successful. Number 1 thing that can save you or make you thousands of dollars per year is check when you go to pack something up, check before you pack. You know, when you're on your order screen, go ahead and click purchase shipping label and see what purchase shipping label. Just put the weight in. You go ahead, you dial that weight in, just check real quick to see if you're going to be sending this item priority, ground advantage, or UPS. I never send anything FedEx. Maybe you do, but to me that's not up my ballpark. There's too many reports of them doing too many after the fact adjustments, and usually they aren't much cheaper in any case. But the reason why you want to check this first is because the last thing you want to do is box something up in a priority box, then discover it's $7 cheaper UPS. Then you've got to undo the entire thing. Of course, you're going to undo the entire thing if it's $7 cheaper, right? You better. But where you really save the money is those edge cases. You boxed it up in that priority box, you found out UPS is $2 cheaper, and you lazy it out and you send it priority anyway. $2 lit on fire. Whoosh. Do that once a day for a whole year. That's $800. A lot of people aren't even checking, and they're just sending everything as priority anyway and not checking UPS or other rates. You guys are wasting thousands of dollars per year. Now, I also do involve pirate ship in this, but I usually only jump over to pirate ship if the item is quite heavy or has odd dimensions. Otherwise, you're usually going to get the same price on the eBay website. It's only for the really heavy things or things that are heavy for their size that pirate ship usually ends up being better. Also, you can make more money in shipping by, instead of just running your shipping off of your pending funds, by instead running that through a cashback credit card. If you're only a part-time seller, you don't sell much, that can add up to almost nothing, or it could add up to thousands of dollars per year. I run my pirate ship through a cashback card, but I don't currently run my eBay through a cashback card, which is probably something that I need to change why not? It's just free money. And believe me, the free money does add up. Just from the pirate ship stuff alone, I tend to get $40 a month. Hey, $480 in 1 year. I've purchased cars for $480 before. I mean, you're probably not going to today, but it adds up. $480 could be a weekend vacation. $480 would pay most individual bills other than a mortgage, I would think, so it adds up. Second thing you can do, this is more of a thing to do if you need to take some time off, but you don't want to kill your store. And this is what I call the time off, and this is time off from listing. I'm assuming you're still shipping your orders. How the time off flip works is this. When you're not listing, or you can also just do this every day anyway, whether you're taking time off, but if you're not listing, every day check and see what listings you have that are ending that day. End them yourself preemptively. Then toss them over to drafts, and then every day launch a percentage of those drafts. What this will do after a couple of days or weeks, or however long, it will get you consistently tossing up a number of listings every day that seem new to the eBay system because they weren't just there. They've been sitting in your drafts for days or weeks, maybe even improved them. Maybe you reduced the price on them. I basically run the time off flip constantly, and I also put my brand new listings just into the drafts, and I launch them all through a system like that. And generally, if I do take something from active to drafts, I lower the price by 3%. And the time off flip can allow you to honestly take huge amounts of time off listings if your store is already big enough. And hey, nothing wrong with that. eBay loves listings, but they don't really seem to care if they're truly new listings or if they're just kind of some for ones that used to be on there and are coming back. Third thing you want to do is you want to price check your existing listings, but if you've got a decent sized store, you probably only want to do this on your most expensive items. I mean, I've got, between regular items and drafts, in my normal store, I've got 2,000 items. I can't price check all 2,000 of those items monthly. That's one reason why I use a 3% monthly discount on items that aren't quantity. But your most expensive items are the ones where it matters the most. And most expensive is going to be different to different sellers. For some sellers, most expensive items might be items over $1,000. For other people, most expensive items might be over $20. For me, it's items that are over $100. Check those monthly. Make sure you have the best price for that item in that condition. Because those really high-end items, they don't sell quick. You don't want to miss that sale because ADH Dave had it for 83 cents cheaper. Do you? Do you want to miss that sale? I don't want to miss that sale. Dave, he'd love to get that sale. He needs that sale. All right, number 4 thing. When you're creating a new listing, you figure out everything you want to do. I like to sell similar off the one that sold for the most money in solds. And then I like to make the reason why I go off the most expensive one, it's probably got the best existing title and item specifics and everything else already, and then I take my first photo to look as close as possible to their first photo. And the more expensive the item is, I think the more this is worth doing. If you're listing something for $4, it sells for $4 and it sells every day, who cares? But more expensive item, take that extra couple of seconds and emulate the most successful previous sold item. Doesn't necessarily mean you want to go for that price, because who knows if that price was a fluke or whatever else, but you might as well emulate what made somebody step up and supposedly pay the largest amounts of money. Number 5, this is mostly for you new eBayers. You don't run auctions. I know some of you say, but Paige, eBay's an auction site, or I run tons of auctions and they're the best. That's great. I'm glad that's working out for you. But overall, every study has shown that items auctioned on eBay sell for 30% less, and that most auctions end with either no sale at all or a single bid. The fact is, an auction is almost never the right choice. And even if you chose to never run an auction and you are wrong about that 0.1% that an auction would be the right choice, in the end, you're going to make more money than if you were just auctioning everything or guessing about whether or not auction should be the right choice. It's just not an auction world anymore. And the exceptions are very few, and most people don't have any of them. All right, number 6. When you got, you're back from the binge, you bought out that storage unit or whatever else, you've got all this stuff here ready to list. Lot the cheap stuff up in the first place. Don't do what many people do, and I'm guilty of this too. Just, if you got a bunch of stuff, especially if they're similar stuff, don't be making $1, $2, and $3 listings. Lot that cheap stuff up. it saves you time, and it actually makes it sell faster, because the fact is, the lowest dollar items also tend to have the worst sell-through rates. If there is a huge demand for that, there's a huge demand for pineapple magnets, then this pineapple magnet wouldn't sell for 99 cents shipped. It would sell for $5, $10, $20. So demand is often related to prices, so don't waste your time. And if you don't have similars, you can also make what I call estate sale junk drawer lots. Just take and fill a box with every interesting looking thing that you know would be junk on eBay by itself, like that pineapple magnet. There's a fake gold stamp of Marilyn Monroe. This might actually be worth a couple of bucks, but it probably has a horrible sell-through rate. Just get all that bad stuff, fill a box up with it, make sure you know what size your box is, then lay it out on a table, take a bunch of pictures, call it a estate sale junk drawer lot. Start it at $50, maybe start at $100, depending on how much stuff and how good it is, and just drop the price over time. Somebody will eventually buy it, and you won't have to have made 48 crap listings. You'll instead have made one listing, boxed up one time, and shipped it one time. And in the end, you probably made more money, because 2/3 of those things would have never sold on their own. Number 7. Everybody has their own personal problem items. I don't like selling clothes other than shirts, hats, or shoes that are brand new in box. I hate selling clothes. If you give me a pair of pants, I'm unlikely to list them, even if they're valuable. Maybe if they've got the tag, maybe if they're new with the tag, I'll probably list them. But I've been known to buy pants at garage sales and then just throw them in the trash or redonate them Goodwill, because I just don't want to list them. Same thing as glass. I don't want to pack it. I don't want to store it. So I don't want to list it. So don't even buy your personal problem items in the first place, because you're not going to want to list them when you do buy them. You're probably not set up for them. Same reason why I only want hats, men's shirts, and shoes that are brand new in the box, is because those, I think, are the easiest clothes to sell. Men generally aren't asking for measurements as much as women are. They don't return as much, and you don't have to know as much. If you're selling tons of clothes, you're probably going to be set up for it. And I'm not set up for it, so I only want the easiest clothing items. So whatever that is for you, just don't get the items that you don't want to deal with, because they're just going to sit there. You're not going to want to list them. You're not going to want to ship them. And since you also hate those items, you're probably never going to get that good at selling them either. You're not going to learn those categories because you hate them. I'm not sitting here trying to learn vintage glass because I hate vintage glass. I'm not sitting here trying to learn women's dresses because I wouldn't even think of selling a woman's dress on eBay. All right. Number 8 is, if you get yourself a return request or an item not as described request, if you get an illegitimate request, there's nothing wrong with you trying to run that clock out on it a little bit. You've got so many days to respond. Take those days. Oftentimes, these people with their illegitimate request will honestly just forget about the entire thing, and the request will eventually just time out. I had one where somebody bought a lot of 2 records, and they said that one of them had some mysterious thing wrong with it, which I knew it didn't. And I waited the whatever days I had to respond, and on the day I had to respond, I asked, did you want to return both records or just one? And I never heard back from the customer again. And I don't think I did anything. I'm not doing anything wrong there either. I both responded to the customer, and I don't believe the customer's problem was genuine in the first place. The fact is, if you don't have returns on it, fact is, when it's my fault, I accept the return or give the refund immediately. When it's somebody who's just trying to get around my no returns with remorse or a fake claim or whatever in, that's when I time it out. If I packed that thing wrong and it showed up broken, I absolutely take responsibility for that. It's only when it's the customer changing their mind that I try to time it out, because half the time they will indeed forget about it. And sometimes, if they don't forget about it, they'll never send it back. Especially if some time goes by in between when the process starts and they actually get the label, they'll just never send the thing back. Which is, hey, not bad either. All right, I think that's about all I've got for today. Thanks for being here with me. Wanted to be sure and shout out to my newest channel member, Flippin' for Laughs. Thanks for joining the channel. If you'd like to support me, my family, what I do here, you could join the channel membership too. It's very inexpensive. I do throw a few bonus videos and clips and things into members only, or other thing. If I ever post a video and I decide that everyone hates it, I take it down, but I leave it in the members only, so you can see my mistakes there or whatever else. If a member needs something from me, I generally try to help that member out however I can. All right, if you know anybody who's a member or isn't a member, why don't you tell them about my channel? Till then,